Hey, this is Kevin David Rail, Chief Fitness Advisor for Wild Warrior Nutrition, and today we're going to be going over 10 tips for getting six-pack abs. And it's only fitting that we start in the kitchen. Why? Because your first tip is this: focus on nutrition, my friends. Do you really think you can get away with eating burgers and fries and nachos platters and pizza late at night and drinking beer and wine and all kinds of sugary beverages and stuff and still get a six-pack? If you do, congratulations. Please send me your info. I'd love to chat with you because I'd love to know what you're doing. You might be doing one meal a day. I don't know. We'll get into fasting in a second. But the key thing is this. What I'm trying to get at is you've got to keep your diet tight. You've got to keep it clean. You've got to focus on nutrition at all times in order to get and maintain a six-pack. Let's see what I got in my refrigerator. I got some broccoli. Is that a good food? Yes, great food. High in fiber, high in nutrients, vitamin C, and a bunch of other things. Diced cauliflower, high in vitamin C, high in fiber. Good, clean energy food right there. Hummus, good for you. High in fiber, good food. Asparagus, romaine hearts, cucumbers, grapes, kale, baby spinach, mushrooms. You get the idea. Add some lean proteins in there. Some good sources like fish, salmon, albacore, tuna, bison. I really love bison. It's really high in vitamin. It's a bunch of vitamins. B vitamins, that's what I'm trying to say. Iron, it's a really good source of creatine as well. Bison, I actually have some in there pre-prepped as well. Keep your meals clean, keep them balanced, and try to avoid all the junk food. Does that mean you can't have any junk food? Not necessarily. You can have some, but regulate it, and don't eat it often. I promise you that. And lastly, focus on fasting. Work out in a fasted state. Try to get a good amount of time restricted eating in. Eat in like an 8-hour or 6-hour window every single day. And do not eat late at night. That is the biggest problem I see across all boards. Even if you're eating clean and you eat 6 meals or 8 meals a day and you eat like 10 o'clock at night right before going to bed, you just you prevented your body from releasing a good amount of human growth hormone at night. And you want the release of human growth hormone at night to boost your immunity, number one, and mainly to help boost your recoveries. And if you think doing hardcore ab training needs a good recovery, you're absolutely right, it does. And if you eat late at night, you're going to stop that from happening. So try to eat early, try to finish early, try to eat clean, keep your meals balanced. That is tip number one for these. Let's talk about tip number 2. Prioritize core exercises. Go figure on that one. So your abs really are just one part of the core. You've got the rectus abdominis and you've got the obliques over here. Those are the main parts of the abs. The whole entire core also involves the glutes, the top of the hamstrings, the lower back, and like this whole region right in here in the center of your body. But you want to make sure to hit all areas of your abs. Don't just do crunches. In fact, I don't suggest doing plain crunches anyway because they're boring and they're too robotic, and you get a lot more action done by doing fun, cool exercises. You can also incorporate tools like this Bosu right here, like this medicine ball. For example, Russian twists. We can sit back like this, and we can do some Russian twists to hit those obliques. But while we're hitting our obliques, our rectus abdominis, the front part of the abs, are still being highly engaged. And you can go from here right into a plank on your hands or on your forearms and just hold the plank. And then you can do a hard style plank by pulling your elbows inward and your toes forward. Then you can do a plank hip raise. And then you can do a pendulum plank. And then you can do alternating hip dropped planks. And then you can get your Bosu out, hop on top of it, and do some alternating cross crunches. So you get what I'm getting at here, right? You want to prioritize your core and your ab exercises and do multiple exercises from various angles to make sure you hit all areas of your abs. And then, on opposing days, I think we're just going to go right into tip number 3, which is mix up your workouts. Let's talk about that. So, when you are doing, say, your beefcake workouts, your chest, back, whatever, instead of doing chest presses on a conventional bench with dumbbells, use something like a Bosu or a stability ball. And then sit back, grab your dumbbells, hold yourself up like this, squeeze your abs really tight, and then do your chest presses. All of a sudden, you got a really nice ab recruitment going on the days in between your dedicated ab work. And then do exercises like Turkish get-ups with kettlebells, do kettlebell snatches, deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, squats, barbell behind your back, double squats with kettlebells. All these exercises, pull-ups, that's a great one. It's one of my favorite ab exercises in the world. When you're pulling yourself up like this, you really got to squeeze your abs to create tension. So Do those kind of tips and tricks when you're trying to get a six-pack and maintain it. So to reiterate, we're going to prioritize our core exercises, make sure to work your abs from all different angles to make sure we're getting all of the abs recruited. And then on your regular beefcake days, mix up your workouts and do things like I just mentioned. Use stability balls, off-balance drills. Another good one that I really like is a side plank press like this, where you're holding a dumbbell or kettlebell and you do presses like this. And you can even throw a little hip dip in and then come up and squeeze those abs at the top. This is constant tension right here. Tension is the key when it comes to building a six-pack, all right? So those are 2 tips in 1. Let's get to the next one. I think I'm just going to chill out and relax and sit on my Bosu for the rest of these tips. We just went over 3 of them. We're going up to number 4 now. Our 4th tip is this: stay consistent. Wow, what a shocker that is, right? If you work out once every 10 days, do you think you're going to get progress made? Very minimal. Once every 7 days, probably the same ball game. You need to stay consistent with your workouts. If you want to get a six-pack, that is like the championship of physiques, right? If you get a six-pack and you're walking down the street, that's what people pay attention to. That's what people notice. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work. But in order to do that, you've got to stay consistent with your workouts. You must work out, I would say, minimum of 5 days a week, probably more likely 6. I do 6 days high intensity, and then 1 day is like a floating day. I've been doing that for years, and it works out great for me. So I suggest staying with the program, getting your regimen together, and staying consistent. Work out all the time. You've got to get the mind frame. You've got to get the mind right in order to get the belly right, okay? That was tip number 4. Tip number 5, track your progress. You don't have to be super fancy or elaborate with this, but you know, if you want to bring a notebook with you to the gym or to your workout space, track your exercises, your reps, your sets, your rest breaks, the amount of weight you're using, the amount of weight you're increasing, and do that with your regular beefcake workouts as well. And write down things like, today I use a stability ball instead of a bench with the dumbbells, and holy cow, my stomach feels amazing. It feels solid as a rock. Like, note things like that, changes in your body that are happening during the week. So you can use those as motivators to keep yourself on track, and it's real progress that you're seeing. So make sure to track your progress. That's tip number 5. Tip number 6 is found in this bottle right here. Do you like the sound of water swishing in my microphone? I know, it's probably annoying. Hydrate. It's that simple. You want to make sure that your muscles have a proper amount of hydration. You don't want to get cramps. You don't want to get muscle pulls. You don't want to get anything like that in any one of your workouts, regardless if it is an ab workout, a core-specific workout, a beefcake workout, whatever it is. Make sure to drink water. And I'm not going to give you all these fancy scientific equations about how much water do you drink. You need to drink. Just know this. Sip water throughout the day. Get up in the morning and start drinking it. The way that I do it is when I get up in the morning, I'm usually pretty thirsty, and I'll pee, and then I'll grab my water bottle, and I literally chug as much of this as I possibly can. This is 32 ounces, and I usually end up somewhere around the 16 to 20 ounce mark. And then by the time my workout starts, I'm about halfway through, and this bottle's gone already. So I've got 32 ounces down about halfway through my workout. Then I refill it, and I just keep sipping it, and then I just sip it all day long. And try to get, I don't know, if you want a number, I would say, 96 ounces, so like 3 32-ounce bottles, which would be, how many 16 ounces is that? Equal to 8 for quick math? 8, 10, something like that. So stay hydrated. That's the key thing. Your muscles like it. Your body will reward you for it. It also helps increase your energy levels through the day. Tip number 7, get enough sleep. I think I talked about that already, didn't I? Or was it? Yeah, I kind of did. I danced around it in the beginning when I was in my kitchen talking about nutrition, showing you some of the crap in my refrigerator. If you don't get enough sleep, your muscles will not function properly. You will not have energy, and you're not going to get that HGH hit that I was talking about. You won't recover properly, and everything's going to go downhill. Try to aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. I know that might be hard. It might be difficult for a lot of you that have busy schedules and work 16-hour days. Try to make it happen. 7 hours, I feel, is the sweet spot, and I heard a long time ago, if you get sleep in 3.5-hour increments, that is the best way to go. If you do the math and add 3.5 to 3.5, that equals 7. And some friend of mine, I think it was my friend Bob, was reading a book on sleep one day, and he was showing me like these graphs and charts. And I found that interesting because I normally get around 7 hours of sleep, except when I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, and then I can't get back to sleep because I have exercise-induced insomnia, which means I'm always thinking about exercises and routines I'm going to put my clients through and things I'm going to do for myself. But all other cases, try to get 7 hours of sleep. Try to get to bed as early as you can. And when I say early as you can, I don't mean you have to be in bed by 8 o'clock at night. Just try to avoid the 1 and 2 a.m.s all the time. You can have those on the weekends maybe, but under normal circumstances, try to be consistent with your sleep. Get to bed like 9 or 9:30 or 10 o'clock every single night so your body can adapt to it, and that's going to help with your hormone release as well while you're sleeping. And it's going to expedite your recoveries and help aid your path and journey to building and maintaining a beautiful, gorgeous six-pack. All right. Tip number 8 is reduce stress levels. Whew, stress is a big one. When your stress levels go up, cortisol goes up. When cortisol goes up, fat gain goes up. When fat gain goes up, what happens? You don't see no six-pack. That's what. And your whole body starts to ache and your brain starts to ache, and then you have anxiety and depression all day long. Does that sound fun? Get rid of all the stressors in your life. People, places, things, objects, pictures, occurrences, events, anything that can, will, or did cause you strife or stress, get the heck rid of it. It doesn't serve you. You don't need it in your life. Watch what happens when you start plucking away all the stressful activities that happen in your life. Everything's going to get better. Your mood is going to go up. Your sleep is going to be better. Your body's going to burn fat more efficiently. You're going to gain more muscle. You're going to have better brain function. Everything's going to fall into place perfectly. So, get rid of all the stress. And an easy way to do that is to get rid of your shoes and socks and go for a walk in the grass and get some earthing and grounding. It puts your body into homeostasis, especially if the sun's out. Then you've got sun and you've got grass and you've got earthing, you've got grounding, you've got Mother Nature. It's going to boost your mood. It's going to reduce your stress levels. And that is a very unique but absolutely true way to build a six-pack. All right, that's a good one. Number 9, let's talk about cardio, shall we? You can do all the ab exercises you want in the world, and you can create the strongest, most solid as a rock abs that you are ever going to imagine. But if there's fat covering those abs, you're never going to see them, and you'll never see a six-pack. So you must do some form of cardio or calorie restriction. That's why I suggested fasting before, because it's a good way to peel away fat. I would suggest doing fasted cardio, especially first thing in the morning after about 12 plus hour fast. I am absolutely able to shred fat when I do it that way. If you can't do it that way, try to fast for at least 4 to 5, maybe even 6 hours before you do your workouts, even if they're later in the afternoon. And then do some HIIT cardio, which is basically high intensity interval training. You alternate back and forth between bursts of really high end effort with low effort or no effort at all, and then you just keep repeating back and forth, bang, 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 bang. And the more intense your workouts are, the shorter they can be. The problem I run into, though, is when I started doing this years ago, I got up to like 20 minutes, and I'm like, well, that's not doing it anymore. So then I bumped it up to 30, then I bumped up to 60. My workouts right now, sometimes I do hour and 45 minutes of high-intensity interval training. And you don't have to run on a treadmill like a gerbil to do HIIT workouts. I am doing a very strict kettlebell jump rope workout right now with a weighted rope, and it is working great. It's working wonders. I absolutely love it. Just get creative with your workouts and do what you like to do. If you don't like running, then don't run. If you don't like stair climbing, don't stair climb. If you don't like crawling on the Jacob's ladder like I do, like a monkey, then don't do Jacob's ladder. Find your groove, find something you like, and mash it to a pulp. That's all I'm telling you. Also, I really like riding my mountain bike up steep hills like this. Long, grueling ones where I'm standing up. If you do uphill mountain biking or any kind of biking where you're standing, you can squeeze the pulp out of your abs and literally get 10, 15, or 20 minutes of solid ab tension all the way up while you're burning a ton of calories. So you get a massive ab workout and you have massive calorie burn and fat burn all rolled into one. And it's totally safe on your joints. I absolutely love that stuff. And what else do I have to say? Okay, one more thing about the cardio before we leave it is you can do a high-intensity 20-minute interval workout in the morning. But then if you want more, if you have extra fat that you're trying to burn, then fit a couple power walks in the afternoon or even a jog, another 20-minute session later, another 5 minutes here, another 5 minutes there. Accumulate your time. All those little bursts of effort add up after a while, and they contribute to burning fat around your stomach and the rest of your body as well. So that's my tip on cardio. Lastly, this is probably the most important one. Number 10, be patient, my friend. You're not going to get a six-pack in a week. You're probably not going to get one in a month. You might get one in 3 months if you're like really strict and you do like really aggressive fasting and hardcore workouts and stuff, but it's probably not 100% likely. Just stay with the program. Do all the things I just mentioned with the tips and give it a good 2 to 3 months and watch what happens. I would say you can start noticing definition though in about 4 weeks when you stick with the basics, follow the rules I said, and are vigilant with your diet and your water and your stress levels and your sleep and your fasting and your workouts and everything else that I mentioned. All right? So that right there, my friends, is your 10 tips for getting six-pack abs. This is Kevin David Rail, Chief Fitness Advisor for Wild Warrior Nutrition. Let me know, as usual, if you have any questions or comments, and good luck.